What's going on YouTube? My name is Arcani. Some of you may already know me. Some of you may just follow me. Either way, if you haven't, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Pretty much I'm just giving kind of like an update on what's been going on. I did explain that I would document the times in my life from the negative to the positive ones. I haven't really been recording like vlogs lately just because I've been so busy and a lot of things been going on, and I really didn't realize how hard it is to like vlog, shoot videos, and still live your own life. It's actually kind of complicated, especially when you got serious shit going on. The year is definitely been an eventful one. To start things off, I left my job that I've worked after for 3 years. It was a pretty decent job, paid well. Me and my manager got along fine. Once he found out that I wanted to basically pursue my own career, he kind of really didn't take things lightly. He thought I was making a mistake, so he tried to like push me out the door because he was kind of just getting frustrated that I was leaving the company after growing for so long with them. I was already pretty well off. I was kind of setting myself up for this transition anyway. I just didn't expect it to happen so quickly, but it happened and everything's been working out fine. Next thing you know, I'm shooting videos. I'm going to Florida, North Carolina, New York, just different places. I worked with Fat Boy. Seen a couple celebrities that I never thought I would see this year, but I've seen a couple of people, and I've just been networking, trying to build a bigger brand and better brand. So like before a trip to New York, me and my girlfriend and my daughter, we were all planning to go to New York just to see family, not for business. And then we had to get like a checkup from my daughter's pediatrician because we were doing checkups like once every week, something like that. She's like, oh, her heart's being kind of fast, y'all should take her to the emergency room. My first thought is pretty much just like, alright, my pediatrician is like really like, she's like, oh, something might be an inch off, so let's take it to the next level just to be 100% sure, which isn't a bad thing, not a bad thing at all. It's just like, I had it in the mindset, I'm like, I'm ready for New York. I know nothing is wrong with my daughter, why we gotta like take all this time out, but I'm just like, just to like make myself feel better and make her feel better. And just to confirm, we was gonna take her to the emergency room and just clear everything out before we actually made that trip. So we go to the emergency room. The emergency room for like kids is a lot quicker than like the average emergency room because they have like a pediatric emergency room, then they have like anyone over 18, and they move pretty quick. So like we was having x-rays, EKGs, and they were like just doing all types of tests on her. Like I had to hold her down while she was getting needles. It was honestly sad, and I thought we were doing it for nothing, which was like making me even more upset that we were just like taking all of these precautions just to find nothing. Like, but eventually like the main cardiologist comes in. Cardiology is just around the heart, so he pretty much comes in. And he's explaining like that she has like some condition where blood that's supposed to be leaving her heart, it's still staying in, so her heart's like getting bigger and bigger as she gets older and breathes. So I hear this is serious. Anytime someone says anything that has to do with like a heart, I'm like, oh, this is serious. So I'm just like thinking, all right, like, so what kind of medicine does she need to take for this to go away? Pretty much. So he's like, we're gonna have to probably do some open heart surgery and a couple of other things. And I'm like, after I heard open heart surgery, like I felt like I felt like I was like put into a different world. Like I didn't hear anything. I felt like I couldn't see anything. It's like I felt like I wasn't breathing for a second. I'm just like, I don't know. It was like I felt like I was like in a different world as soon as he said that, and I'm just like, I've never known a single person in my life to get heart surgery. Heart surgery is something that I like see on like Grey's Anatomy and all these other crazy doctor shows, and I'm like, I never thought something like this would happen to me or anyone around me, just because I don't know, you don't expect someone to need heart surgery. Like it's not something they'd be like, oh, you're probably gonna need heart surgery later. Like I don't know. So like from that point on, like just a reminder, we were about to go to New York literally like an hour after we were going to go to the pediatrician. So later on that day we found out that my daughter needs heart surgery and we got to stay in the hospital for about 2 weeks. So we're in the hospital, they're doing all these tests, they're like giving her these medications to drain the fluid from around her heart, and it's just a lot of shit going on. They're giving her a feeding tube through her nose. They got like her arm, like she can't move her arm just because they gotta like put the IV in it, and you know babies like to mess with things like that, so they tape it down to a board. It was a lot of shit to deal with, especially, you know, this is my first kid. You know, if parents know like anything, like especially new parents, anything that happens to like your, you know, newborn baby or child in general, like it just, and you feel helpless. It's like something that you can't deal with. It kind of like breaks you down badly. Like I can't even explain, like honestly can't explain how I feel without like trying to like get emotional about the whole thing. But it's just like it hurt. It just like it hurts, you know. It hurts to like to watch someone that you care for, that you know you gave, someone that you helped bring into this world, and just like to watch them go through all this pain, and they can't talk to you, they can't explain how they feel or what they're feeling. It's literally the most helpless feeling in the world, and it's like I found myself breaking down just at random parts of the day, because throughout this entire thing she was smiling, she was happy, she's laughing, because even though she doesn't know what's going on, after like she gets her needles and she's like relaxing, she's like crying so much she even threw up. Like it's just so much stuff going on, and like after all that shit's going on, she's just still like optimistic about it. I'm like, it hurts even more to see her that way, just because I'm glad that she's still happy, but it's like I can't think of like the possible of worse outcomes that could come from heart surgery. So my bad if my voice sounds like a little shaky. I'm like trying to not have a fucking breakdown right now, but no, but it was a whole, you know, it was a whole long part. So eventually they let us go home, and we have to, you know, they put a feeding tube down her nose that goes into her stomach because she wasn't eating. The medication was making her not hungry, and pretty much before she had to get heart surgery, we had to, you know, make her as big as we possibly could. Like they wanted her to have as much weight as she possibly could, because, you know, they said, you know, bigger babies do better with recovery after heart surgery. So, you know, we got a feeding tube, we gotta like feed her overnight through a tube, and it's like she doesn't want to eat throughout the day, and it was kind of like making me nervous, because I'm just like, she literally would go the day without eating just because she ate so much overnight through the tube. And it's like, I don't know, like feeding someone through a tube overnight, it's kind of scary, especially if I like gotta go to sleep during it. Like what happens if she gets fed too much, or you know what happens, I don't know. Like I don't like anything that goes into my body and that's working on my body while I'm sleeping, especially in my body. So the fact that I'm like gotta do this for my daughter, and like she can't like say, yo, this doesn't feel good, or whatever the case is, she can't tell me. I just have to assume and like read her the way she's reacting. It's crazy. It's honestly like crazy. But eventually like we traveled an hour out to Charlottesville, where we met her surgeon, and he explained like the process to us, and he's a real optimistic guy. He's like, but he was like, you know, straightforward with everything. He was like, you know, if anything was to go bad, or anything is bad that he does see, he's gonna tell us, because of course he expects everything to go good, but he's not gonna keep anything from us that doesn't go good. Pretty much we're like, you know, so we got to go up there a day before the surgery. She has to get prepped for surgery at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and right before she got prepped for surgery, it's like I have like the night before, we was at like a hotel. It's like me, my mom, and my girlfriend, and it's like I just kind of like it's like I'm like the night before I can't sleep, and it's like I'm like, I don't know, I felt like I was like losing it. Like I don't know, it's just the fact that like, you know, it's scary to just think about like your child's chest getting cut open and worked on. Like I don't know, it's I'm probably gonna stop talking about it soon. But couldn't sleep throughout that whole night, and then Then it was time to go into surgery. You know, we go into the waiting room, and like, she's still got the feeding tube, you know, in her nose, by the way. So we go into the waiting room. She can't really eat too much the night before. 5 o'clock in the waiting room, they're explaining everything that's going on, and like, you know, eventually they're gonna like give her some medicine to like seduce her, put her to sleep, and then they're gonna take her back and prep her for surgery, and they're gonna keep us all updated by calling us. So we go through a calling room, we go to a waiting room where they have a phone, and they just like call and give us updates every hour about like what's going on right now. So eventually, like, they prepped her, they call us, and then they're like, all right, we're getting the surgery started. You know, then I lose it again. Surgery started at 9, ended about 2 p.m. 9 a.m. started at 9 a.m. ended about 2 p.m. Alright, he comes by, he said surgery went great. You know, she had a specific heart condition that he didn't expect, and he said the valve was leaking more than what it should have been. But overall, he fixed it to as much as he could be, and now everything is just working fine inside of her body. So I was relieved. That was just a big thing that, you know, that was just a big relief, you know. So I went to go see her, and she had a bunch of tubes attached to her, you know. She had like a tube down her throat to help her breathe, and a tube in her chest to drain fluid, and it's a lot of things that you don't want to see. I hope no one ever has to see this thing. I don't care how we don't get along, you know. But all this happened, and then eventually they take all it out. She recovers quick. Like, she had the heart surgery, and we was out a week later. Like, she was breathing on her own, so they took the tube out. You know, everything was responding perfectly. She had no more fluid around her heart, so they took the chest tube out. Everything's going perfectly. And mind you, like, I'm still, like, of course I work for myself now, so I'm not getting paid as like a medical leave. So I gotta like, and this week I gotta like go back to Richmond, which is like an hour away, get some work, and then go back to Charlottesville to comfort my girl. So it was a long process. We got out, everything started going fine. You know, Milani is great now. She's doing fine, gaining weight. Thank you for everyone that supported me. I didn't tell anyone about this just because I don't like to publicize such sensitive like information, especially like, I'm not a public guy when it comes to that thing, so I don't know. I don't really like to publicize things like that, you know. It's just not my thing. But, you know, after that, things been going well. I've been traveling out the state, but as for the Arcani thing, things been going great. I've been traveling out the state. I flew to Miami, I went to North Carolina, I went to New York, I've been to Jersey. It's been great, and it's like, I met a lot of people who are help pushing my career, and it's like, a lot of people believe in me, which makes it feel good. And it's just like, the main thing about this whole Arcani thing, there's people around me who think I'm like crazy rich or just crazy successful just because of how happy I am and how content I am with how life is going. And it's like, I try to explain to people the best way I can. You know, you watch all these celebrities on TV, you watch all these icons that you look up to, and it's like, everyone's like, oh, I want to be rich, and I want to be, you know, well off and not ever have to work a day again in my life. And it's like, when you find what you want to do and you make a career out of it, and you're doing that every single day, that's pure happiness. I think that should be the goal that everybody wants, rather than just having a lot of money. Because when you work for yourself, because you see celebrities and you assume everything's going perfect, but there's a lot of celebrities who are like depressed because like they don't control their life, or like they got people who are like, yo, you have to do this, you got to do this and that. You pretty much just have a bigger job with a bigger pay, and just like more people looking at you and idolizing you. But it's like, when you're your own boss and like you control your career, everything just kind of like comes together. Having the freedom is like, I feel like it's the purest form of happiness, because you control your life. You literally control everything around you. You can say what you want to do and when you want to do it. You don't have to have someone telling you what to do in your ear and saying, hey, if you don't do this, you don't get paid. I think, you know, people see that as being a celebrity, people see being a celebrity as like the way you obtain all that, but it's like, it's not really the case. There were people who didn't believe that I could, you know, make a career just with my camera and shooting videos. Everybody's like, oh, you got a little hobby. I'm like, no, I got a career. And it's like, I'm doing that now. People are like starting to like, you know, people are starting to fuck with me. Like, that feeling that you get when everything revolves around what you want to do. You wake up when you want to, you work when you want to, you don't work when you want to. You can make time for anything that you want in your life. You get to spend the time with your family. If you want to make a lot of money, you just gotta like work harder at your own career. And if you don't really care for a lot of money and you just want to, you know, live comfortably and just have a lot of days off, you can work for that too. You control your entire life, and I feel like that is pure happiness. I've been doing this for a couple months now, and I've been there were so many things that I was able to do and able to go to, and experiences that I would never got to experience if I wasn't working for myself. And it's like, it makes you feel a lot better to the fact that like, you're living your life, you control your life. That's why I encourage all entrepreneurs, like, if you want to pursue your own career, work your way towards it and then do it. Don't be afraid. Everyone's gonna doubt you. Everyone's gonna say, oh, you sure you want to do this? You know, this is what happens if this goes wrong. I say the same thing to everyone with a job. What happens if you get fired from your job? Anything could happen at any point. The main thing is about this is like, it's a sad thing, but life can end at any point. And it's like, my daughter made me realize that like, there's a lot of people, there's people who don't come out of heart surgery, and there's people who just randomly, you know, live a great life, and then something happens to them to the point where they don't live anymore. And it's like, that can happen to anybody that's watching this video right now. So why not take the time that you do have here on earth and just like live it up to the fullest, just because you don't know when that time is up. I make videos like this just because, like, you know, I was one of those people who didn't believe that, oh, no one's in my family's gonna have to get heart surgery ever. I was like one of those people that were just like, oh, this will never affect me, so it doesn't apply to me. You don't realize how luxurious life is until like it's almost stripped away from you. And my daughter was like that moment for me. That's like, I was already doing the Arcani thing, but I feel like I was getting lazy to a point. She made me value life a lot more, and she's only been here for 13 months so far. And it's like, such a little person with so much meaning. It's cool. It's cool. And also, I need some more dad friends. So if you my friend, become a dad. No, I'm joking. Don't become a dad if you don't want to be a dad, because that'll be very bad. But get your shit together, do what you want to do, live your life, and, you know, pursue the career that you want to, you know, pursue. Just because, like, you'll be a lot happier. I promise you. There's people who don't want to wake up and go to their job, but it's like, I enjoy waking up every morning. You can ask anyone in my house. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm like up to like 4 o'clock in the morning editing videos sometimes, and I'll still wake up at 8 and just, you know, I'm ready to move. Like, just, I don't know. I feel energized. Like, I feel motivated to like every hour. I feel motivated to, you know, live every hour of the day. So that's all. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, everything's going to be in the description box below. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe to me on YouTube. I do got a bunch of projects dropping soon. I'll be in Atlanta next week, and thanks for following me. So this is Milani, by the way. She just woke. What? She just woke up, so she's like out of it right now. This is my little inspiration though. Say hi. Later.